Hey everyone, Once Bitten here with another battle report. Decided to pull my Bretonnians out again, although I did drastically change the list just to make it an almost exclusively peasant list. And playing a Lizardmen army, this is the same player and the same list that absolutely destroyed my Beastmen the last time we played. So just playing it again. And we rolled Dawn Attack. I don't know what the odds are. It seems like half my games are Dawn Attack. But I don't mind. I kind of like it. So anyway, starting at my far left, he's got a spellcaster. I don't know if it's level 1, level 2, but he's got Lore of Heavens, a big block of Saurus Warriors. There's a couple of Salamanders with a Kroxigor Skink unit behind him. This is a block of Temple Guard with his Slann, who has Lore of Life. And this Slann isn't tricked out too badly. He does get an extra power die for every spell he casts, but that's really about it. He doesn't have a lot of the other things that make him especially nasty. Then there's another unit of Saurus Warriors. There's some Chameleon Skinks in front. More Kroxigor Skinks on the hill. Another Salamander unit. And then some more Chameleon Skinks. So I think this is just a really, really good Lizardman list. I mean, he's just got a variety of units, and he's able to take advantage of a lot of the unique things they can do. So on my far right, I've got a unit of bowmen. I've got these Grail Knights. When I rolled the Grail Knights, I rolled them before I did the bowmen, and when they were the only ones here on the far right, I just had them facing my left just to go over and support over there. By the way, on the left-hand side, that building, my opponent doesn't like buildings, and so we just decided to treat that as impassable terrain. So I've got a bus of Knights of the Realm. I've got my Battle Standard Bearer there. He's got a 2-up rerollable armor save. There's a level 4 caster in the middle of them. I decided to take the Lore of Heavens with this list, and she has the Crown of Command, so that unit is stubborn. Trebuchet, 20 archers. I've got a Grow Relique there on the left, Pegasus Knights in front of them. Some Skirmishing archers, just for the fun of it. Another Trebuchet. Then I've got 2 hordes of 50 men-at-arms, and yes, I rolled far left with both of them. Just, yeah, what are the odds? So we go to Lizardman turn 1. He moves his Chameleon Skinks up. Otherwise, you can see how he moved his guys around. This is my far right. Really, just I didn't account for these Chameleon Skinks. I need to think more about where he can place them and where he can move them. I thought my bowman would be able to shoot at him, and he was able to move up out of their line of sight. So he got a Ice Shard Blizzard off on my Peg Knights, which, because of what I was going to use them for, I wasn't really worried about. I let it go. Got Flesh to Stone off on these guys. Those Salamanders shot at my bowman, and despite having Leadership 8 nearby, failed their panic test and ran away. And then we go to Bretonnian turn 1. So I decided just to have my bowman charge that unit of Chameleon Skinks. The thing is, I know they're going to be hard to wound, but I'm hoping just with a charge and a banner and a rank, just to be able to beat them through combat res and run them down. I felt I had better chances there than shooting at them and just trying to wound them that way. So my Peg Knights charged his Salamander unit, and they fled, and then they tried to charge his level 2 caster, and it fled, and so they just did a failed charge there in the woods. I don't remember how I got that wound on me. My guess is it was either a Salamander shot or a dangerous terrain test fail. But anyway, that's where they're at. So I just moved the Grow Relique up, and you move my men-at-arms as much as I can towards the fight. Yeah, that's another look of him fleeing with everyone. Don't know why the duplicate pictures, because I like to do that a lot, I think. I rally my bowmen for all the good that's going to do me, and my Grail Knights, I decide just to reform them, and my thinking was there's nowhere he could move his Chameleon Skinks that my bowmen or my Grail Knights couldn't see him. And it turns out I was wrong. He was able to scoot them around to the left of this picture out of sight of my Grail Knights. So kind of a fail. Dropped a rock on the Saurus Warrior's head, killed a few of them. And yeah, go peasants. You can see, I don't think, um, anyway, whatever happened in the combat, I won it and then ran them down. If anything, they ran too far. I think they ran ahead like 11 inches. I mean, it's not a big deal. If he charges me, I'm just going to flee. But they really, really ran far. So here we go to Lizardmen turn 2. There's an overview of the board. You can see the peasant bowmen are no longer there. They were charged and fled. And you can see he charged my peg knights, and they fled. There we go. So those are the bowmen fleeing, pegs knights fleeing, and otherwise him just getting a failed charge. He was able to rally a salamander and his level 2 caster, which isn't a big surprise. And there's him moving his chameleon skinks out of sight of my grail knights. So yeah, I just really, really didn't play that well at all on my right flank. During the magic phase, he gets Comet of Cassandra, or the Comet off. I don't know if it's still called that or not. So the Comet's there. And actually, I let that one through. I wasn't really worried about it because by the time my magic phase rolls around, I don't plan on the Peg Knights or the Grail Relic being nearby. So during his magic phase, he regrows some of these Saurus Warriors that I killed with my Trebuchet. Then we go to Bretonnian turn 2. So I moved the Grail Relic up to force his warriors to charge into me. I didn't want to charge into him because there's really no use of an extra round of combat. I want to be able to, next turn he has to charge me, and then on my next turn I'll be able to rally him. Now in this picture the damsel's still with the Grail Relic, but she actually moves out before the end of my movement phase. I just didn't think of it right then. My Peg Knights rally, and so I move them up so that the Kroxigor unit can't get into the flank of my Knights of the Realm. There's another view of it. So Knights of the Realm charge into his Temple Guard unit, and I'm not going to break him this turn, but I really don't need his Kroxigors coming into my flank. So I'm pretty much putting my Peg Knights there, knowing that that might be a sacrifice of that unit. Here on the right, I give up on the darn Chameleon Skinks, turn my Grail Knights around just to charge those Salamanders later. And this is the important one. Now I do like having that bit of impassable terrain on my right. That means his Saurus unit really can't come into my flank. And, so hopefully I'll kill a bunch, and it's going to take a long time to wear that unit down. But we're both stubborn. I believe rerollable at the moment. Yeah, he has a Battle Standard Bearer in this unit. So the Comet Cassandra's right there. And it eventually goes off and doesn't do anything. So I think it's just kind of, a fail on the part of that. So, man, my Knights of the Realm got all ninja. Now, I was able to get the +1 strength and toughness buff on them, so they were strength 6 and toughness 4. Even then, I usually will whiff a lot more of my attacks, and they really didn't. It was a great charge. A great charge. Being strength 6 certainly didn't hurt. So after that, we go to Lizardman turn 3. So as Chameleon Skinks come around, they're going to tear up my Trebuchet. His Saurus Warriors go ahead and charge into the front of my Grail Relic. And a mistake I made here was when I pulled the damsel out, I left her right behind him. So my guys are stubborn, but they're just stubborn 8. I can easily fail that. And if they fail, that's, she's going to get charged, and that's just kind of stupid. So that's just a little thing I need to be more aware of. He charges into my Peg Knights, and I knew that would happen. I did not want to flee because then he could redirect into the flank of my Knights of the Realm. And here on this side, he just moves up. So he's going to shoot at me this turn. I can't avoid it. Hopefully it won't go too badly. On my turn, I want to charge the Salamanders, and if he flees, I'll redirect into that Kroxigor unit, and if he doesn't flee, I'm hoping that I'll easily beat him, but then I'm hoping I can overrun out of range of his Saurus unit, knowing that's unlikely. So Chameleon Skinks are just wonderful against Trebuchets. Yeah, so I'm still strength 4 with the people that are fighting, and I'm still toughness 4. He's not doing a good job of killing me, and yeah, he's just kind of dying there. Chameleon Skinks kill a few more of my crew. I still had one guy left on the Trebuchet. Kills only shoots at my Grail Knights and only kills 2 of them. I felt that was fairly lucky. And it was either this picture or the previous picture, but one or the other. During his magic phase, he miscasts and blows up even more of his own Temple Guard. I think he rolled a 10. Whatever it was like everybody in base contact took a strength 10 hit. So this unit just really is getting beat up a little bit. And I think at this point his battle standard bearer got killed. I don't think he has that on his slan. He has a separate guy for it, and I'm pretty sure he's dead at this point. So there's end of the turn. And we go to Bretonnian turn 3. So my men-at-arms finally able to get into the fight, come into the flank of that Saurus unit. Very happy with the Grail Relique. I'm not sure it's worth the points, but it is nice having a stubborn unit out there. Now, if you look, my Peg Knights are still around. He killed 2 of them, but they held. And so, thrilled with their performance. I think they saved the Knight of the Realm unit. And the Knight of the Realm, they're just the champions of this game. So, as of my magic phase, the +1 strength and toughness buff is no longer on them. But now I'm able to get the harmonic convergence, so they get to reroll 1s. So I have a rerollable armor save of, forgive me, not rerollable. I've got a 2-up armor save that's 3-up against these guys, but if I fail it on a 1, I can reroll it and likely save it. So they're even harder to kill. And then I was able to get the spell off that his guys have to reroll all 6s. So that was nice. Here on the far right-hand side, my Grail Knights do indeed get the charge of the Salamander unit. I'm very confident I'm going to beat him. I'm not so confident I'm going to be able to overrun out of line of sight of his Saurus warriors. So there's just another look at the board. My bowmen rallied, and so they're facing his chameleon skinks. And then instead of making him shoot at my trebuchet, I just go ahead and blow myself up so he doesn't have to, waste a turn actually shooting at me. So in combat, yeah, we just tore up that Saurus unit. The Peg Knights, we tore up the Saurus unit, and so the Grail Relique got a flank charge into his Crocscore unit, tore them up. The problem is that both of them fled. They got away. I wasn't able to run them down, and are on the other side of that Temple Guard unit. So that wasn't too good. But now the Peg Knights are in the flank, and where Slan is somewhat exposed. There we go. Yeah, there's a Saurusi. Right behind him are the remaining skink Croxagores. So it's great that I beat him in combat, but he gets full points for him, and now they're, just safe on the other side of that battle. So I almost did it. I beat the Salamanders, and I am barely in sight of the Saurus unit, but I am in sight. If I had gone 1 more inch, I would have been out of line of sight. So on his turn, he gets the charges. Peasants are obviously going to get crushed. Grail Knights don't have a chance. Oh, heartbreaking. Just bad use of the Grail Knights on my part. Now these chameleons, all those black models are dead, except for on the far right side. Those are 2 salamanders and skinks. And he's just coming over to get nice, juicy targets on my big men-at-arms unit. So here the battle rages on. You can see both those units on the far right rallied. And those Crocscores on his next turn. We'll have, my turn, of course. And on his next turn, if I don't break them by then, they're going to come into the flank. And the problem is I need to kill every single Temple Guard in order to not, so Slan won't be stubborn. Or I need to kill that stupid Slan. Either way, I just need to do it quickly. So over on this side, if you look at my men-at-arms in the lower left-hand corner, it used to be 50, now they're 25. He killed a nice, even 50% of them, and they failed their panic test and ran away. And I think he played correctly according to the rules, but I don't like the rule that he gets to hit with 2 templates at the same time, because basically he hit almost every guy in the unit and got to hit him twice. And so whereas if I died to 1 template, he got to kill the same models twice, and so I would lose other models. So if he hit a template first and killed a bunch of guys, the second template would not have hit nearly as many guys. But I think that's just the way the rules are, and I just don't like them. So anyway, that's how that is. So another thing, and you might have wondered why my units are all up there like that. I should have done these pictures differently. Basically, these chameleon skinks shot at my other trebuchet, or they killed something, whatever it was, and my bowmen failed their panic test, and yeah, they ran away from the trebuchet, but they couldn't fit in between the men-at-arms and the damsel, so they popped out. They had to go through the men-at-arms, through the salamanders, popped out on the other side of the board. They went the whole width of the table. Then they panicked the men-at-arms, who fled. And so this whole side of the board, I thought I was doing so well on it, and yeah, the whole side of the board just kind of crumbled. Here on the right side, he wins. Real Knight's dead, Bowman dead, and these guys hung out. I just, darn it. um, yeah, so he's down to just a champion and his Slan. And we go to Bretonnian turn 4. So on the left, I rally the men-at-arms, I rally the bowmen, I rally the other set of men-at-arms that fled from the being shot to death. And I made a mistake here. The damsel, I should have marched up and joined the Grail Relique, but I wasn't thinking about it. I thought she was just hanging out safe down there. So now let's see, I lied about that. I rallied the men-at-arms and the bowmen. I did not rally the men-at-arms who got shot up by the salamanders. So here I just really need to kill that last remaining champion and or the Slan, and I didn't do it. So his salamanders now move to the side and get nice juicy target of this men-at-arms unit. Croc scores come to the flank there. Not exceedingly happy about that. I'm going to lose a few guys, but at least I'm stubborn. Otherwise, these guys just move up a little bit. And this is where I realized I made a mistake. Because I wasn't really moving her, the chameleons were able to march up, and they're going to get to shoot at her. And then they fail. I don't know what the odds are of failing all that. They only need to do 1 wound on her, but they failed. So I thought that was kind of funny. And these guys killed a bunch of men-at-arms, but I passed my panic. And finally able to kill everybody. So between killing and running down, I was able to get rid of everything there. The Slan, Temple Guard, and I believe I even ran down the Croxagores. So very happy about that. So Bretonnian turn 5. This was kind of funny. So I shuffle the Grail Relique over to get it in range of her, her being my damsel. My damsel fails her test to march, and so she can't reach them. So instead of joining the Grail Relique, she'll get a Lookout Sir roll on a 4-up because of them, but she wasn't able to join them. But at least she's in the woods, so I'll get some cover, maybe be able to pass some on a Lookout Sir roll, but really worried about the chameleon skinks picking her off. Otherwise, my bowmen charge into the flank of the salamander unit, hoping to get some revenge off all the carnage they've done. These guys will be able to get the charge. This is the source unit that used to be on the far left of the board that I already beat once. And this is the right-hand side of the board. These units are really out of the game. There's nothing else they're going to be able to do there, probably. So, and then we have it. The bowmen beat the salamanders. Great moral victory. I rally the men-at-arms, so I get full points there. Yay, go bowmen. And here we beat the source units. My peg knights run them down. I decide just to reform with my Knight of the Realm unit. Basically, his guys can't really make that charge because his spellcaster's in the way. And if they did, I wouldn't be worried about it. I'd be stubborn. Stubborn 8 rerollable, and it's almost the end of the game. So there's a picture of that side of the board. So we go to turn 6, and we just decide to draw it. It was really late, so we decided not to play the last round. It was a victory to Bretonnian. I mean, he had a level 2 caster, a Unitosaurus, chameleon skinks, and 1 skink Crocscore unit left. Other than that, he lost kind of a lot of stuff, and really it was easier to see what I had lost. But basically, I think I lost 600 points. I lost a couple hundred in Grail Knights, a unit of bowmen, a unit of skirmishing bowmen, 2 trebuchets. But besides that, everything was still on the table. So, yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with how the Bretonnian mostly peasant list played out. But if we're being honest, I think I just got insanely lucky with that Knight of the Realm unit. They charged in there and just killed a ton of Temple Guard, and then the Slan miscast and killed a bunch of Temple Guard. Just a lot of things went wrong there for him. But Anyway, overall, victory to the Bretonnians. Hope you enjoyed it.